Meet the Label League, Prometheus's cleanup crew. Before any metric reaches your dashboard, it passes through a series of filters that decide what gets scraped, what gets dropped, and how every label gets renamed. Master these rules and you master Prometheus ingestion. Every metric flows through a 4-stage pipeline. Discovery finds candidates, relabeling trims and labels the targets, scraping pulls the samples, and metric relabeling polishes what gets stored. The critical distinction: relabel_configs runs before the scrape and edits targets, while metric_relabel_configs runs after the scrape and edit samples. Edit the guest list early, edit the photos later. There are 2 label universes and they live at different times. Target labels like __address __, meta _kubernetes _pod label _app, job, and instance exist before the scrape. They decide what gets scraped. Metric labels like method and status exist on samples. They decide what gets stored. Anything starting with a double underscore is a meta label, visible only during relabeling and stripped automatically unless you save it. Every relabel rule has 6 fields. Source _labels picks the labels to read. Separator joins multiple sources. Regex tests the joined value. Action says what to do on match. Target _label names the new or modified label. Replacement supplies the new value, with back references like $1 and $2 pulling captures from the regex. Memorize these 6 and you can read any rule. The keep action is your membership filter. Targets whose source labels match the regex survive. Everyone else is dropped. Think of it as the bouncer. Regex is the dress code. Non-matches never enter the club. Drop is keep's mirror image. Targets whose source labels match the regex are removed. Everyone else passes through. Use drop for blacklists, blocks for noisy exporters, debug endpoints, or health checks you never want to scrape. Labelmap is the bulk renamer. Instead of testing one label, it scans every label on the target, and for each whose name matches the regex, it produces a new label using the replacement template. Back references like $1 and $2 pull captures from the original name. Perfect for stripping prefixes like __, meta _kubernetes pod label and turning them into clean app, team, and V labels. Labeldrop is the surgical eraser. Any label whose name matches the regex is removed from every target. No replacement, no copies, just gone. The classic use case is stripping noisy paths from kuba _pod info, or removing the debug label family before they hit storage. Labelkeep is labeldrop's mirror, just like keep is drop's mirror. Anything not matching the regex gets deleted. Use it when you want to whitelist a small set of labels and strip everything else. A strict decluttering pass that protects downstream storage from label explosion. For traps, catch everyone. First, the double underscore prefix marks meta labels that vanish after relabeling unless you explicitly rename them. So __ is your friend, but only if you handle it. Second, rules run top to bottom and stop on the first match for keep and drop, so order is policy. Third, regexes are anchored only when you add caret and $. $* is not the same as full match. Fourth, labelmap loops are real. Copying labels that match your replacement can double fire, so always verify with promtool check configs. Learn these 4 lessons, and your relabeling career starts on solid ground. Recap. Relabel_configs edits targets before the scrape with actions keep, drop, labelmap, labeldrop, and labelkeep. Metric _relabel_configs edits samples after the scrape with the same actions. Target labels decide what gets scraped. Metric labels decide what gets stored. Master the 6 fields, respect order, anchor your regexes, and watch the underscores, and Prometheus becomes your most reliable instrument. Before deploying any Prometheus configuration, validating it with promtool prevents runtime failures. Promtool check config parses your prometheus.yml, verifies scrape jobs, and confirms relabel_configs are syntactically correct and logically consistent. The first step is to clear the screen so the upcoming output is easy to read. This is a standard hygiene habit before running diagnostic commands. Now we validate the main prometheus.yml at its default system path. The 2 and 1 head redirect merges stare into stout and limits output to the first lines, which is enough to spot syntax errors or rule issues quickly. For this demonstration, we use a minimal custom config at /tmp/p.yml that includes a single scrape job with a relabel_configs rule using action keep. This pattern filters targets by a label, retaining only those that match. The action keep directive tells Prometheus to retain only those discovered targets whose source label matches the regex pattern, dropping everything else. This is essential for multi-tenant clusters where one job definition services multiple label sets. Now we run promtool against /tmp/p.yml to confirm the custom config parses cleanly. A success line confirms there are no syntax errors, and the relabel rule is well formed.